Hi all, welcome to today's session. We have been discussing on various reverse charge mechanism coupled with exemptions, different discussions. In fact, that is the reason why the discussions are little prolonged. Otherwise, it would have been completed very quickly. In case some of you think I never spent on reverse charge so much time at my earlier levels. Yes, you are very right that when it comes to earlier level, we will learn the respective reverse charge and walk away. Whereas here we are trying what are all the associated exemptions so that you get a holistic view. Let me repeat it. You get a holistic view on this particular aspect. Moving forward on our discussions, row of discussions, just for the purpose of a little recap that has been associated with this discussion. Um, let's brush up the whole reverse charges from a little exam perspective, a topic worth more than 6 marks. We have it as an MCQ, we have it as a scenario question, we earlier had it as a straight question on the amendment. So there are possibilities in any combinations. Yes, we can expect a question over here. Starting with, first we discussed transactions relating to GTA, Goods Transport Agency, followed by all those services provided by individual advocate, partnership firm of advocate, or it is going to be your senior advocate. A catch over here is the respective business entity is liable to pay tax. What would happen in case advocate provides to other than business entity, advocate provide to government, advocate in case provide to business entity who in the previous year enjoyed a registration exemption. In case of all these three situations, because services provided by advocate to a business entity whose turnover in the previous year crosses the registration threshold, or in the previous year he is a registered person, if that be the situation, the answer could be very simple, that the respective business entity is liable to pay tax. But in all the other situation, we will refer back an exemption entry notification 12 of notification 12 of 2017, central tax, entry number 45 or serial number 45, as the case may be, you can call it as that serial number 45 of notification would come out and say that all those services provided by advocate to other than business entity, advocate to government, advocate to another advocate, all would be exempted from levy of GST, which we are aware, but just I want to highlight it over to you. Services by arbitral tribunal are going to be out from the tax net, similar in the case of advocate services, which is liable for reverse charge. And if they provide to other than business entities, it's going to be out from the tax. Sponsorship services. In sponsorship services, a very careful point on the other day when we discussed also, many of you had apprehension. The sponsorer, the sponsorer is the recipient, not the person who receives sponsorship. BCCI is not recipient, BCCI is supplier. DLF or Pepsi or today Vivo, those people are going to be your recipients, and these recipients are liable to pay tax under reverse charge in case if they are located in taxable territory. A careful point where the term recipient and body corporate, and recipient being a body corporate or a partnership firm, is important. Services provided by government to business entity. We saw a variety of exemptions here. In fact, a lot of time would have been spent by us. I would rephrase it. A lot of time would have been invested by us either on GTA or on goods, government services. Both are prominent entry, promising entry from an exam perspective. Why? Because a lot of money is paid to government by organizations. Actually, we think there is no. Take a restaurant. To run a restaurant, you need about more than 9 licenses. Licenses from fire department, because fire is being used in the restaurant. Licenses from, I would not say licenses, NOC from the particular jurisdictional police station, a particular license from a shop and establishment act. Apart from your GST, income tax, companies act, all this you exclude. A FASI license because they prepare food edible preparations. And if they sell certain retail packs, associated edible preparations, if they pack it and sell it, those related establishment related licenses. We have a list of licenses that will go. Now, why I want to highlight this is for all this license, the more you would use this license, there is a fee, FWE. This FWE is fee. Is it a consideration when you go back and research it? Yes, it is treated as consideration. Be it fee, be it charge, both are treated as consideration. Is there is a supply from government to a business entity? Answer is yes. Now, on a careful understanding, very, very careful understanding, services provided by government to business entity, no doubt, business entity is liable to pay tax under reverse charge, except if the amount is less than 5,000, except if the previous year they are exempted from registration, except if the amount is paid for the purpose of uh, abstain from for the purpose of not satisfying or tolerating the activities of the contractor. In case if it is going to be for the purpose of a FASI or any other consumer registration or any other registration under any other law for the time being enforced, or for calibration, testing, or consumer for a registration which will benefit consumer at large or public at large, or for the protection of employees and safety. These related transactions, let me repeat, these related transactions are exempt. Maybe I'm not sure, did I asked it on the other day? I should have asked this, but if in case my memory fades on this topic, because we are here, to me, this is the most important discussion to take it up. For example, let's get into a situation where PQ Limited has taken a property on lease for 99 years from government, for which they pay lease charges of rupees 25 lakhs every year. Okay. Now there is another issue involved here. Okay. I'll come back to that issue sometime later, not now. Okay. I'm not sure have we taken up that exemption over here. I have a doubt. So I'm withholding that exemption. Remind me sometime later to discuss about lease premium. That is, because I'm allotting you the property, you have to pay me a premium, extra money. Okay. There is something called as lease premium. Sometimes it is called as lease non-refundable deposit. Sometimes it is called as salami. Sometimes it is called as development charge, a one-time development charge. When you're going to, property is allotted to you. Just think for a moment, government develops industrial parks, industrial places. Wherever you are virtually located, think a nearby industrial estate, where think it 10 years before, 15 years before. 15 years before, everything would be only a plot. Now that plot is given by government. Originally, government used to do this activity. In today's environment, we have a company for this purposes, preferably all the top 15 states. Okay, I would not say all states, that would be a wrong phrase. Top 15 states, that is, who are all economically forward. All those top 15 states who are all economic transactions are more, who invite a lot of investors. So those top 15 states created a company and does everything through that. Question for us. A lease charge of 25 lakhs per every year is collected, plus to draft the lease agreement, rupees 3 lakhs was paid to advocate, and to register the lease agreement with sub-register, with sub-register office, they paid registration charges of rupees 1 lakh. In fact, the situation is described to you. Now, we have a situation, let me repeat, a nice situation. You can expect this as a case study problem in your exam levels, and if it appears solidly, it appears for a 6 mark. There are too many questions to ask here. Okay, I mean, too many points to discuss over here. Just give me. I'm now opening up the whole discussion for all of you. Yes. Now, for people who would be able to read it from the chat box, okay. In case you find it, no, that's difficult for me, Mr. Ganesh. In case you're going to say. Yeah. Hope this is visible and clear to you. PQ Limited had taken a property on lease for 99 years from a respective state government. Okay. And for which they paid, they have to pay a lease charges of rupees 25 lakhs every year. Plus, to draft the agreement, this is separate. Don't link with that. To draft the agreement, rupees 3 lakhs was paid to an advocate. To register the agreement with a sub-register office, a registration charges of rupees 1 lakh was paid. Is the company liable for RCM? Maybe if you permit me, I would add only one more point to make this question a complete question, a very, very highly complete question. Company is liable to pay a lease charge of rupees 25 lakhs plus one time lease deposit, or you can use a word called as charges, or you can use a word called as premium of rupees 75 lakhs. Okay. To government. Okay. Company incurs now my question completes to a series exam standard level. Okay, I don't find anything maybe, but for PQ Limited, every other but for PQ Limited, maybe the name can be changed, and you can expect a straight through question at your exam level. Yes, quick. I know the believe me, I somehow feel I have in myself the examiner within me. Many times it happens, and I can able to smell how he can twist somebody. But this is your question for you for the day. Yes. Through a case study question. We can't have a case study discussion separately. It has to happen parallel. Our grooming has to be parallel. So we have a case study before us. a company is going to acquire a property, and the agreement is signed in fashion that it is a 99-year lease. And of course, any lease for a period more than 3 years will get registered. To register this lease, they have to pay a documentation charges. Of course, they have to engage an advocate who will review, say, plot, identifies pitfalls, everything, and upfront share his views. Followed by two more situations. There is a lease charge of 25 lakhs that has to be paid year on year, YOY. And there is going to be a one-time lease premium of 75 lakhs. Maybe from a lease premium perspective, I withhold your answer. I would answer that part. Okay. All the others are open to you. Yes, your answers. I would wait for another 2 minutes to get a holistic answer. Try to come up with a holistic answer. Issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, issue 4. 4 issues we have here. What will happen to lease rent? What will happen to lease premium? What will happen to services provided by advocate? What will happen to registration charges? A, B, C, D. If you answer it at toto, it would be better. Over to you all. Good. 3 people have answered. Quick. If virtually somebody located, if they can answer, I personally believe everybody can answer. That's all. It's only a little effort that we take. Thanks to the technology, when a question like this generally would be raised by me in the classroom, almost on the same way. But instead of me coming up with typing it over here, I would have scribbled this in the board. But the point here for us to discuss is, in that situation, you all would come up with your solutions in your notebook, which I would not have access. Now you all come to a place where you virtually present your answer and I have access. That's the difference. And best part is instantly it can be understood. Quick. If, let me repeat it, if your understanding and the understanding which is required for the question, if that matches, to me, beyond that, nothing is great. That's a closure point. Vaishnavi S. Check your answer on the first question. Vaishnavi K, answer is true. 3 you have answered. All 3 is right. Actually, we have 4th question. I think you can make an attempt for a 4th question. Ambika, yes, same. 4 you can, 4 have to be answered. 3 answered. All 3 are right. Aishwarya, yes. The premium alone, you take it care. That will be answered. But for it, otherwise answer through. Good. Haripriya Mohan, yes, you are through. Whatever you have answered, you are through. One question is pending. All of you comfortably omitted lease premium. You are not interested to step in at all. Okay. And few of you answered it as under reverse charge. That too, if reading a question and identifying what are all the issues, that itself is an art by itself. Nandini through. I don't know why, Pavitra, third issue was opened by you. Advocate services, do you find that is difficult for you to answer, Pavitra, when other questions are answered rightly? You can check by yourself. Itnas, whatever you services paid 3 times in all the 3 issues, answer. Vaishnavi K has come up with the answer for the question 1. Yes. Now it makes complete, Vaishnavi. Complete all 4 through first person. Complete all 4 through. Ganapati, second issue alone. Premium issue alone check. But for it, otherwise you are very right. Vishnu Prasad, again, second issue alone. Either second issue has to be discussed by me, or if you scan through your earlier understanding, you will get it. Okay. Pavitra, second person to close all the answers correctly. Shweta Manivannan, check your entry number 1, entry number 4, and entry number 2. No doubt. You have to revisit your understanding. Sai Subramaniam, in case of registration of lease deed, okay, registration of lease deed, the explanation given by you has to be revisited. Your answer is right, but the explanation associated with it has to be alone revisited. We have given enough time. I would take it up and close, but I personally believe a lot more people can answer. I know the size of the crowd that is attending the session effectively. Okay. Effective session and non-effective session, you can understand. But at least half would have been answered. I would have been happy. But I expect a better responses. Don't come out and at a later date say, we have never practiced the practical question. It would be very tough at a final level to take it up an exclusive class on practical session. Let me repeat it. Honestly, I'll make a submission. An exclusive session on practical problems is not possible, not workoutable, because you will miss the nuances of the transaction. Any case, coming back here, PQ Limited has taken the property on rental, on which they will be periodically liable to pay 25 lakhs. On the rental charges, no doubt our next entry would be renting of immovable property by government to a business entity or a registered, not a word business entity, to a registered person. The respective registered person is liable to pay tax under reverse charge. So no doubt PQ Limited is liable to pay tax under reverse charge. Issue number 1, you would come out and refer this, say renting of immovable property by government to a registered person. The respective registered person is liable to pay tax under reverse charge. Followed by a second issue. In case of lease deposits, lease premium or salami or development charge or whatever name you're going to call it as, for lease premium alone, later part of our discussion, in exempted services, we have one entry. any money paid to undertaking of government or to central government or state government in connection with a lease deposit or a lease premium will be exempted from GST. Let me repeat, a lease deposit, lease premium, lease charges would be exempted from GST. Followed by further to discuss on this transaction, all those expenses incurred for the advocate services, no doubt RCM is applicable, PQ Limited is liable to pay tax. And for registration services, we have a very specific exemption which comes out and says, any registration under any other law for the time being in force. So because of quoting that entry, we would come out and say, do I need to refer a respective exemption number? If you refer, it would be great than very simply writing exemption. So if at least you are not able to refer the exempted entry number, at least refer the notification. As per notification 12 of 2017 of Central Tax, Let me repeat it for all practical purposes. Everybody wants those information. Come back here. 4 issue. First issue, renting of immovable property. The word used is renting only. How lease can come. Renting, leasing, licensing, or any other connection with that would be covered over there. PQ Limited is liable to pay tax under RCM. Second issue, lease premium exempted. One-time lease premium only once exempted. And not only once, one-time lease premium is getting exempted. Followed by advocate payment, payment to advocate. On the payment to advocate, no doubt, on the payment to advocate, the respective company is liable to pay tax under reverse charge. Fourth issue, on the registration charges paid to sub-registered office, no doubt it is a service, but it is getting exempted. So 4 entry, 2 exempted, 2 taxable. A valid, very right question for both more than 6 marks plus. So that sums up. This is how our case study would be. This is how our future questions are going to be on this topic. So coming back here, proceeding further on our recap. Apart from this, services, we will come to TDR. Today's limelight is TDR and long lease land. Director services. All those services provided by an individual director to a company, the respective company is liable to tax. Services by insurance agent, the insurance company is liable to tax. Services provided by a recovery agent, the respective banking company, NBFC, or a financial institution, that NBFC of them that is going to be located in the they are liable to pay tax. All those copyright services. In case of copyright services, no doubt, the respective recipient who is going to be a publisher, music composer, producer, those people are liable to pay tax, except in one circumstance where the author of a book has an option. He says that I would pay tax to government. Let me repeat it. The author of a book, if you go back to section 13, 1A, section 13 comes out and says in what and all you have copyright, section 13 of Copyright Act. In that first line item alone is covered here, which means only book. Okay, author of a book. In case of author of a book alone, option is given. Either the author can pay tax or the publisher can pay tax. Mutually agreed between them. If the author pays tax, author will give a declaration to the recipient that the author is paying tax, and author will raise an invoice with GST. In case if the recipient is liable to pay tax, then author will not give a declaration. Author would simply say recipient is liable. That's all. Beyond that, nothing great associated with this. Followed by services provided by overseeing committee, a member of overseeing committee to RBI. The RBI is liable to pay tax. Services provided by individual DSAs. Very important word. Individual direct selling agent, then the respective bank or financial institution or NBFC that is liable to pay tax under reverse charge. A banking facilitator, services provided by a banking facilitator to a banking company. The respective banking company is liable to pay tax under reverse charge. Somebody who helps in administrative activities, somebody who helps in account opening, somebody who helps in form filling in rural area. Okay, we will come across one exemption. In rural area, it is exempted. Then if it is in urban area, if they have a bank facilitator, then RCM would be applicable. Otherwise, RCM would not be applicable. Services provided by an agent of a business correspondent to a business correspondent who is located. Any services provided by agent of a business correspondent. So bank appoints a business correspondent. Business correspondent appoints a agent. Agent provides services to the business correspondent. On that services, the business correspondent is liable to pay tax under reverse charge. Security services. Introduction during 2019. Possibility of being tested in exams are high, and we have a variety of combination here. The supplier of service, the supplier of security service is going to be a person other than a company. It is a company, it is going to be a person other than company. They provide services to a registered person other than central government, state government, local authority, or a section 10 person. How I can take grip of this transaction, how I can take control of this transaction, divide the security services supplier into two categories. Corporate suppliers, non-corporate suppliers. Corporate suppliers, this discussion is irrelevant. Let me repeat, irrelevant. Because the security services provided by a corporate player. Let me repeat, corporate player, RCM is not applicable at all. He is not brought in. Services provided, security services provided by a non-corporate player, individual, partnership firm, HUF, LLP. LLP is also non-corporate because under GST law, LLP is considered as a firm. Okay. Under income tax law also, LLP is considered as a firm. So we cannot take that plea at all. Coming back here, all those services provided by a non-corporate player to individual non-corporate player is liable. Services provided by a non-corporate player to a section 10 person, again, forward charge applicable. Services provided by a non-corporate player, supplier being a non-corporate, to government, forward charge applicable. Services provided by a non-corporate player, supplier being a non-corporate player, to a section 10 person, again, forward charge. Sir, reverse charge. One situation. Services provided by a non-corporate supplier to a registered person. When he touches a registered person only, non-corporate registered person. This side supplier has to be non-corporate. That side recipient has to be one qualification, registered person. Registered person means to whom GST registration certificate is issued, DOIC is there. What is that? This DOIC, date of issue of registration certificate. IRC, DOIRC. You have to be used to these words. PPOB, POB, okay, DOL, DOT, DOS, all this and all. So date of issue of registration certificate, the day in which you have your certificate, on the date you are treated as a registered person. Sir, as a registered person, I can be a HUF company. We are not bothered about your status. We are bothered about, are you registered with the GST or not? If you are a registered person, this side you have a non-corporate person, RCM is applicable. You are not in the category of registered person. This side you have a non-corporate person, forward charge is applicable. So that is how a decision has to be taken. And here I can twist, turn situations left, right, center. Consciously, I'm refrain from discussing now because I would get answers very rightly, which I don't want. Okay, we will discuss it sometime little later after discussion of two important entries for the day. A new entry, a new reverse charge, services provided by renting of a motor vehicle designed to carry passengers. Services provided by way of renting of a motor vehicle designed to carry passengers. Again, the supplier is going to be, of course, this is nature of supply, that word supplier is missing. No doubt it is going to be other than company, other than body corporate, which is corporate, as usual, same. Sir, like security, I can bifurcate it. Bala Tourists and Travels Private Limited. The moment you have a word called as Bala Tourist and Travels Private Limited, one minute, just a minute. Suddenly something strikes me. I'll come. 1 minute, just 1 minute. It's only my browsing time of the notification. Because the next 4 entries that we are going to discuss all are amended during 2019, of course, on different tenure of time. A minute more. So this motor vehicle entry we had, though it came in 2019, it had 2 amendments. Just a minute. Yes, I expect this. Yes, we had this amendment. Yes. Sir, are there any change in the propositions? No. See, it throws up more options. That's all. I would come back here to my discussion. The moment it is going to be a corporate, then you can comfortably throw him out of this understanding. No doubt about it. So, corporate, non-corporate. RCM is applicable always for non-corporate. Okay, for these two entries in common. One more step, one more option that is given under motor vehicle is, if the non-corporate wants, he can issue a tax invoice and collect a tax at the rate of 6% CGST, 6% SGST. Don't read verbatim that GST at 6%. There is no GST at 6%. The CGST at 6%. See, when central government notification says, it will say 6%. When state government notification says, it will say 6%. As a reader, we have to read both and present it as 12%. That is how it is done throughout notifications. Every notification will speak only me, mine, myself. Sir, what is this so much of introspection? That's all they will speak. They'll speak only with them. They'll stop beyond. They'll not think about the next act also. They will say 6% I want. No. Sir, what is the new proposition here comes in? There is a possibility that a non-corporate will be interested in charging 6% CGST plus 6% SGST under forward charge. So because of that, what would happen? See, very simple. If someone is going to go for a 5% tax, this discussion gains its more momentum from CMA perspective. Okay. It doesn't mean other course people are not required to know. They should also be aware of this. But from a CMA perspective, this importance is high. Okay, because for you, the rate notification is applicable. So rate notification means 11/2017 central tax. That rate notification is applicable. All the others would read only two notifications as amended from time to time. 12 bar 2017 exempted services notification, 13 bar 2017 reverse charge notification, which we are discussing. You are the only soul in the whole world, okay, who have to remember about more than 34 different services with its subclassification of 68 entries, minimum 68 entries, individual entry by entry rate of tax, and with ITC, without ITC, all this and all. Sir, do you remember? Sorry, I have cleared my chart account. Best part of clearing a professional courses, post clearance of your professional course, if in case, 1 month. Post clearance of a professional course, if an answer is called and if you give the answer instantly, I'm sorry, you're not a very great professional. Okay, though you know the answer, you have to, I'll come back, I'll review, send me this agreement, send me that agreement, send me this paper, that paper. After collecting all the paper, you will give the same answer, then you are treated as a most highly reputed professional. This is a perception. I would not say this is even my perception. A perception that is said to me. Many times we know answers instantly over a period of time. It's not the moment. Over a period of time, we would have handled various situations. It's only comes by experience. But the core discussion of us is a corporate, a non-corporate. This leave corporate, they're out from RCMs. When it comes to non-corporate, as part of all our non-corporates discussion, non-corporate may exercise an option to pay tax under forward charge. Sir, what is the advantage for a non-corporate to pay tax under forward charge, or what is the incentive for a non-corporate to pay tax under forward charge? Might as well they can ask the recipient to pay tax and they can hell out of all the liabilities and matters. A very careful point is input tax credit. Let me repeat, input tax credit. If you want to claim input tax credit, then you have to pay tax under forward charge. And if you pay tax under forward charge, the rate of tax is 6% CGST plus 6% SGST. So, is the non-corporate supplier is interested in claiming input tax credit? Is a non-corporate supplier is not interested in claiming input tax credit? Is going to be a most important question. Here, based on the size of operations, based on the vehicles of operations, sorry, we have been discussing. Today there is a little power challenge in our home. So what to do, where to source power, all these are all into different aspects. I've been discussing. Can you all, some of you give me a lead? Instantly I forgot. Can some of you give me a lead? Based on the size. Thank you. Thank you. Based on the size of your business. For example, if you're going to have a Mercedes-Benz, a S-Class Mercedes-Benz, or a BMW 7 Series, or a classic format, Benz 4MATIC, or various other luxury cars which are all given on a rent mode. then we believe that you have to go under forward charge, because that only enables you to claim input tax credit. To the contrary, you're going to have some small five Tata Indica or some other small five concept cars, which are all given on rentals to the organizations, companies, or individuals, as the case may be. Maybe going under input tax credit route would not be beneficial, or in a great way would not be beneficial, because I don't find a reason for that. For all said and done, if these cars which are going to be purchased for 1 crore rupees, we have a solid 28 lakhs GST. Let me repeat it. Solid 28 lakhs. And 28 lakhs of input tax credit is someone would do that business itself in 3 years. Which means after procurement of this car, after 3 years of rental, or I'll rephrase it, after procurement of this car, next 3 years of rental, I would not pay GST at all. Can we able to appreciate this discussion? See, these are all maybe the careful point associated with it. And when a decision is done, even a non-corporate would go for a forward charge mechanism. So two bifurcations. Corporate, exclude them from this reverse charge. They are not, I'm talking from the supplier front. Again, just for remembrance, supplier front. From a supplier front, if it is a corporate, throw him away. Forward only applicable. Forward only applicable. There is no concept of RCM at all. If it is going to be Bala Travels and Tourist Private Limited. No. It is Ganesh Travels. Okay. A partnership firm. If this be the case, then this Ganesh Travels, who is a partnership firm, has an option. Either they can go under forward charge or under reverse charge. Like how you see a picture of cars. In the same way, Ganesh Travels would have fleets. They have 500 fleets. There are only two big players in Chennai. Only two big players. Bala Travels and Tourist, Ganesh Travels. These are all live examples I'm sharing. Let me repeat it. Bala Travels and Tourist has no option. No option means no option. In fact, his tagline will be Maruti to Mercedes. So he'll rent you all cars. For him, no option at all is there, and only forward charge is applicable. Ganesh Travels has an option. Either they can go under forward charge or they can go under reverse charge, asking their corporate clients alone to pay tax under reverse charge. Because Ganesh Travels have huge cars, huge fleets. I would not say cars, huge fleets. They opted for a forward charge, which means they would charge GST at the rate of 6% CGST plus 6% GST. Expect, recollect your understanding. Verbatim, same we would have discussed for GTA. Our GTA discussion was no different. Only thing is, in GTA, we never bifurcated between corporate, non-corporate. We told supplier of GTA services providing tax at the rate of 6 plus 6, 12%. So, our core discussions, our major point over here is forward charge would be break like this. When it comes to its reverse charge, application, if it is going to be a supplier who has not opted for forward charge, sir, how do I know he has not opted for forward charge? In his invoice, he will not charge GST. If in his invoice he charges 6% CGST and 6% SGST, that is an intimation to the recipient that yes, he is opting under forward charge. It is a non-corporate supplier, supplies to a company. There is a difference between security services wording and motor vehicle wording. It's a body corporate. Let me repeat, it's a body corporate. Word used is body corporate. And the term body corporate, which means naturally company and other than companies. Okay, company or other than company. Other than company means don't take it in otherwise. Company or foreign companies in other language, or corporations located outside India having office in India. In case of a transaction where the recipient is going to be a company or a body corporate, then the respective company or body corporate is liable to pay tax under reverse charge. No doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt about it. Only they are liable for this reverse charge. Now, do we have certain further points over here? We'll get into the combinations. I want all of you to come up with your solutions. It is Bala Travels Private Limited, who is a supplier, who has given the car to Infosys Technology Limited, who is the recipient. Okay. Now, who has to pay tax? I have some 4-5 questions. This is my first question. Maybe if you all finding it a little difficult, I would even go for a whiteboard discussion. Yeah, the question is on your chat box. You can see through that question. Already I raised a question. This is going to be supplementary question to that. Bala Travels Private Limited, a supplier who supplies motor vehicle, no doubt, to Infosys Tech, who is their recipients, who has to pay tax? Is the first question. Then we'll improvise this question, same over here. Quick. Only 2 words, supplier name, FCM, RCM, that's all. I don't expect anything more, quick. But I want a lot of you to participate. Let me repeat it. Only expectation is that's all. Supplier name, FCM. Recipient name, RCM. That's all. Beyond that, nothing great. Okay. Because then only we can come up with your understanding. Deepak T, check your answer. Deepak T, check your answer. Ambika, Kirtana, check your answer. Shweta, yes, check your answer. Okay. It would be under forward charge mechanism. Corporate means if supplier is corporate, let me repeat, supplier is corporate, there is no concept of reverse charge coming into play. Very, very specific discussion. The moment your supplier is corporate, absolutely there is no second thought about it. There is no concept of if the supplier is corporate, let me repeat, if the supplier is corporate, you can close your eyes and say, bus for you forward only. There is no concept of reverse charge applicable to you. When your supplier is going to be Bala Travels and Co., a partnership firm. Who is the supplier? He provides services to Infosys Technology Limited. Who is going to be recipient? Wait here. No hurry. Let me complete the question. Last leg of the question, you will have a twist. Where supplier has charged GST, I'll rephrase it, sorry, influence, CGST at the rate of 6% on tax invoice. Okay. Who is liable to pay tax? Question number 2. Quick. Question number 2. Yes. Question number 2. Bala Travels and Co., a partnership firm who is the supplier, supplies services to Infosys Technology Limited, where the partnership firm is, in other words, is interested in claiming input tax credit. They want to claim input tax credit, so they have charged. Who has to pay? Bala Travels and Co. forward charge, or Infosys Tech reverse charge. Forward or reverse? Bala Travels and Co. or Infosys Technologies. Janani, yes. Check your answer. Sir, you only told no, sir. Non-corporate means RCM would be applicable. Correct. Non-corporate should not, that the point is that should not collect tax at the rate of 6%. He's not collecting. Sir, if he collects, sir, collects means forward charge. Done. Can we move forward? See. Bala Travels, proprietary firm, who is a supplier, not interested in claiming ITC. Clue. Not interested in claiming ITC. Provide services to. Provide services to Infosys Technology Limited. Yes. Who is the recipient? Who is liable to pay tax? Yes. Vivekanandan, for answer C you have answered or answer B? Vivekanandan, can you confirm? Is it for B or C? Whoever answered till here through Vivekanand alone, you have to confirm to me, then only I can decide. RCM would be applicable. Very simple. Why, sir? Non-corporate fellow, not interested in claiming ITC, supply services to a company. No doubt RCM would be. Do we have further combinations? Yeah, why not? Bala Travels, a proprietary firm, supplier, not interested in claiming ITC. I'm retaining that word, not interested in claiming ITC, provides services to CRBS and Associates, a chartered accountancy partnership firm. Okay. Our firm only. That's why I can use the name. Okay. Now, who's the recipient? Who is liable for tax? 1 minute no, before you all answer. Shruti, check your answer. Bala Travels. Sorry, Shruti. Sorry. Bala Travels, a proprietary firm who is not interested in claiming ITC, provides services to a chartered accountancy firm. For question number D. Shruti, your answer is right. Sorry. I read it with the previous entry. Vaishnavi, I don't think so. Till now, we read any exemptions. So, possibility of being exempted is rare. You have to fix the liability, no doubt. Is it either a forward charge or under reverse charge? Forward charge, Bala Travels, or reverse charge, CRBS? Kirtana Prakash, check your answer. Kritika Prakash. Apurva, check your answer. Kirti, check your answer. Vishnu Prasad, check your answer. Vishnu Prasad, sorry, Vishnu Prasad. No, you're all right. Nandini, check your answer. You are bringing two different proposals. You are saying forward charge and saying CRBS is liable. Batting, என்னது பவுலிங்கா ஃபீல்டிங்கான்ற மாதிரி இருக்கு. Okay. Hariprasad, RCM is not applicable. Hariprasad. Kirtana, RCM is not applicable. RCM is not applicable. Why RCM is not applicable? Very simple. Recipient has to be a body corporate. I'm not sure all of you be able to see the slide. I'll go back to the slide from here. Recipient should be a body corporate, which means company, foreign company. Stop there. That's all. That's all. Done. Yes. Can we move forward to the last 2-3 illustrations over here? Bala Travels, a firm not interested in claiming input tax credit, provides services to Chennai Sewage Metro Water Board. They are a government authority. Or if you want, you can use the word government also. I don't mind about it. Yes. Questioning, same proprietary firm, but this time provides services to government authority, one of the government related board. Okay. So who has to pay tax? Forward charge or reverse charge? Forward charge or reverse charge? Bala Travels Private Limited. I'm working on the next question. You can might as well give your replies on your chat box. I'm see-throughing it. Till now, all the replies are favorable. That is why I'm keeping mum. The moment I get a otherwise reply only, I will wake up. So a lot of you answered me only forward a charge. All of you all right for question E. Let me repeat it. It is forward a charge. It is the Bala Travels proprietary firm. They have to pay tax under forward charge. Okay. I'm expecting a little more better responses. And to the last question to take up, this time the private limited fellow goes up to government and the private limited fellow collects money. Okay. So in your last situation, F. In last situation, yes, it's once again going to be, let me repeat, it's once again going to be forward charge. So you can think of your example for E, you can continue with individual, you can continue with AOP. Your example for F, you can continue with individual, you can continue with AOP. Status quo does not change, transaction nature does not change, that remains as it is. So that sums up your complete discussion on entry which we have taken up for the week. Okay, that's a new entry. And we have completely discussed about it. Beyond that, there is something, sir, nothing beyond that. One more point, maybe you can make a note of this point. It's worth noting down. The consideration that they pay, that should be cost of fuel is included in the consolidated charges. It should not be a mere renting of vehicle. Let me repeat, it's not a mere renting of vehicle means I'll give you the vehicle, you put the diesel, you put the driver, you put everything, give me monthly 35,000 rupees. That is called as lease, right to use of goods. That is not called as renting of motor vehicle. Okay. Renting of motor vehicle means, sir, per kilometer, 8 rupees. Diesel we will put and come, driver we will give. Can you able to understand the difference in the nature of contract? So to ensure that that aspect is taken care, cost of fuel is included in the consolidated charges by the service recipient and provided to a body corporate, and who does not issue a tax invoice at the rate of 6%. Then only this RCM. If the supply is in this nature, only RCM is applied. Moving forward. All those lending services that are mediated by SEBI. Okay. SEBI collects a small money for approval of those scheme as an intermediary. Whatever money collected by SEBI is going to be, whatever money collected by SEBI is going to be exempted from, sorry, not exempted. Whatever money collected by SEBI from the respective borrower, the borrower is liable to pay tax under reverse charge. Occasionally, there are transactions where few loan services are mediated through SEBI, preferably this F Foreign Portfolio Investment, FPI. FPIIB, some registration and all is there. Portfolio investments and something, investment institutions or something. There and all, to certain approvals are granted. Who is going to be a borrower? Basically, a borrower will be in India. That borrower would be liable to pay tax under reverse charge. It's in case if any loans are through that foreign portfolio investments. There would be already a portfolio on technology. They would be interested in investing in a startup in India. At that time, yes, through SEBI, people will make an application, and for which SEBI collects a charge, syndication fee. I would not say a syndication fee, an approval charge, which is being collected by SEBI. On that money, yes, they are liable. Before we getting into two entries on IGST notification, if you carefully see this two entry only IGST notification, import of service and transportation of goods or vessel from a foreign country. Sorry, transportation of goods by a vessel from foreign country. Before we get into that entry, let's get and touch our monster. Who's our monster? Actually, it looks big. When we correctly tap it, it would be Understand. In fact, we have a exemption entry over here for this. I am once again parking down your land development discussion. I'm sorry. This is not a topic that can be closed in next 20 months. I don't want to test your patience by taking up that topic. I know by myself, because I have to introduce to you what is joint development. Then I have to introduce to you what will be the share of the builder, what would be the share of landowner. There is a barter between the landowner and builder, and the valuation of barter and the valuation of builder's portion, tax liability of both builder's portion and landowner's portion individually. Then the 80% compliance of builder, RCM of builder. Okay, 10 points is there. I don't want you to push you onto your limb of your chairs, and when you fellow will complete. Rather, I would very humbly take up parking that two, which is still pending. Consciously, I'm aware of it. I'll straight away get into import of service and this, because this too will accommodate that. That too, next entry, this fellow, I'm sure we all have experienced it. You all know it's not your at your earlier level you would have read it, but again, every time we read, it has its own nuances to share. RC on IGST notification perspective, whatever we discussed here, all entries are applicable there also. Be it GTA, be it advocate services, arbitral tribunal, renting of immovable property by government, or it is going to be any services provided by government. Various services are covered over here. When so much services are covered over here, whatever we saw, all control C, control V, interstate supply. Plus two things. What are that plus two things? Import of service, first entry for discussion. Supplier is going to be in what status? A person. Supplier is going to be a person other than non-taxable online recipient. Supplier is going to be a person other than non-taxable online recipient. Sir, what do you mean by this word non-taxable online recipient? A taxable online recipient means, I would put it in this way, non-taxable online recipient. You are located in India. You consume a service provided by a supplier located outside India. It could be WhatsApp, it could be Facebook. Today, all these are all free. Very soon, all this will be, initial membership itself will be a paid membership. Let me repeat. Take up LinkedIn, you have a profile, but you want to have access to various other profiles. You want to get connected with people, for which you have to pay some money. You are who? Non-taxable. I'm not registered with GST. I'm a non-taxable and a online recipient. I am a non-taxable online recipient. So all those individual who pay money to the all those individual who pay money to one minute. All those person who pay money to the foreigner, but they are not a registered person, then they are called as non-taxable online recipient, which means you and me are the non-taxable online recipient. When today you pay, let's say, some amount to some of those service providers for some purposes, for a personal purposes, then it is not for, then you are a non-taxable online recipient. To cut the long story short, to make a very simple understanding to all of us, your Gmail space is getting expired. You crossed the 15 GB, which is free, and it can be crossed easily today because we upload a lot of data, a lot of mail, a lot of information. For some of us, our contact list itself is big. Many reasons. You crossed your 15 GB. The next, which is offered by Google, is 100 GB, which is basically 1 TB data. You can subscribe for that, provided monthly you pay a subscription of 130 rupees, basically $2. Now, when $2 is paid, let me repeat, $2 is paid to a company located in Netherlands, in not Netherlands, Ireland. A company somewhere located in Europe, a company located in Europe does a business in India. Is it possible? Yes, I can share you. Some of the invoices would come from Europe. Okay. Uh, if you give me a minute time, I can show you virtually a invoice raised by Google. In fact, once we start seeing it, we would start appreciating the importance of the word. Annual subscription. Mm, my goodness. somehow not able to trace it. I'm sorry. I tried my best, but it does not appear. Problem is, one point in time you get, or I'll rephrase it. One point in time you will get a realization that certain things will be always constant in life, and you will decide to pay once for all instead of paying monthly, and you will search for a discount. Okay, if you have to pay periodically, once you decided that your space you want extra, you have two options. You can pay out what is it, month periodically 130 rupees. Alternatively, for a year if you pay, it is going to be 1300. So you get an incentive of 2 months. So Netflix, will it be considered as a, yes, Netflix, nice example. Amazon Prime, nice example. Maybe yes, if you're all little convenient with that, then I would get into that mode also. Yes, take up Netflix. Touch, best example. Thanks for that. Now the point here is, all those services provided by a person to a non-taxable online recipient, this RCM is not applicable because it uses a word other than non-taxable online recipient. Okay. So which means, sir, you will understand in this way. Services provided to a taxable recipient. Taxable recipient means, sir, when he will be taxable, he has a registered business in India. See, always it's easy for government to say otherwise. Because if they excluded this one fellow, rest all fellow will come. Okay, he is registered, non-registered, we are not bothered. For you and me, for a better understanding, understand in this way. If it is for an individual who is not in business, then this RCM is not applicable. RCM would be applicable for any person other than non-taxable online recipient. So it is going to be other than non-taxable online recipient. In nutshell, in aspects, services supplied by a person located outside India to a recipient in India, and it is not through online mode, then it is an import of service. The recipient in India is going to pay tax. I'll give you some examples. Maybe some of these examples are already known to you. You can have a better understanding on these examples. It was a fat wedding. Fat wedding to us is where money is invested on those marriages more than 250 crores. So it is going to be a money that has been invested on the marriage as part of their marriage celebration. More than 250 crores, then yes, we would call that as a fat wedding. Now, in relation to that fat wedding, makeover consultants from Europe, preferably Spain, France, makeover consultant, travel to India to do makeover services. To whom? To bride, bridegroom, tier 1 family members, tier 2 family members, and few special invitees to do makeover services. So to do makeover services, you have the makeover consultants, not 1, 2 consultants, 20 consultants. I'm talking of a live case that happened in Bombay a year ago. And a makeover fee of more than $60,000, sorry, 60,000 euros are going to be paid. Question before us. Let me repeat. Question before us. Is it an import of service? Marriage, no doubt, is a personal celebration. But our question is something different here. Is it an import of service? Supplier, makeover consultant located outside India, recipient in India. This is not a service provided through online. So there is no question of online taxable recipient. non-taxable online recipient. This is a physical services done by a person to another person where presence of both the persons is required. Is it an import of service? A company engage an architect of Spain and constructs a building. Why is a Spain architect? They want to come up with a Spanish villa. Where is sir? Oragodam. In Oragodam, they want to construct a Spanish villa. Sir, what is special about Spanish villa? You have to see. If you Google it, you will know. European roads, no, it will be different, and Spain roads would be different, and Spanish villa has a special fluorescent color that will be associated with it. See, one dark blue paint. In that, one dark green car will be parked. Now you compare it, it will be awesome. One extraordinary yellow on that one orange color car. You see all these fluorescent cars, no? Orange, green, blue, European cars, European inspirations. Okay. Preferably the European people feel that, see, Indian people are very clear for them, black or white. Maybe gray and platinum, a few people will select. Beyond that, a choice of selection itself is rare. But for those people, it is not like that. Their houses will be, see, when your house is going to be full green, lush green, fluorescent green, and you park a orange color fluorescent car, it would be awesome. Mark my word. Not. Now come back here. You want to bring back those Spanish influence into this Oragodam in a town for which the Spain architect is engaged. Import of service. Supplier is located outside India. Recipient is in India. Property is going to be constructed in India. So the entry is so wide. Any services provided by a supplier located outside India to a recipient in India, no doubt, the recipient in India liable to pay tax under reverse charge. Only two things will get prompted to us. Check whether the transaction is an online transaction. If it is an online transaction, the services are provided through online, through a technology mode. In other words, OIDAR services, online information database access retrieval services. What is that you are so told in that speed? Online information database access and retrieval services. Don't think we have already discussed as part of your earlier discussion. Online information database access and retrieval services. One kind of service provider who supply the services through online. Anybody who through a Google app, Play Store app or a Apple Store app or a Windows app or BlackBerry's app, if they provide any services to you, everyone will be covered by the definition, broader definition called as online database access retrieval services. Not only them, a service provider provides certain other services through web pages, digital content providers, digital cloud space providers, anybody who allow you to use any space, cloud space, all are covered over here. A furthermore discussion on this aspect. All those services, you have to check, is it online, other than online? If it is other than online, then one more filtration. Is it an import of service? Yes. Now, is it liable for reverse charge? Yes. But if something is used for a personal purposes, then it is exempt. If it is for other than personal purposes, for the furtherance of business, then it would be what? Sir, no, sir, I read import of service for business or other than business. You have a separate IGST exemption. You have a separate IGST exemption, which comes out and reads that any services used for personal purposes, import of service for personal purposes, is exempted from levy of GST. Now, what will happen is if you generically write that any services used for personal purposes is exempted, all these OTT fellows who come in this digital content providers, Netflix, Amazon, All these fellows already sitting located outside India and only collecting money. Okay. They will also come out and say, Boss, I am also exempted. I am also giving OTT is not meant for group viewing at all. Okay. Technically the supplier cannot identify. Five of your friends come and join, sit together. Yeah, we will see this new film which has been came in OTT. Sorry, group viewing is not allowed. It is an OTT is a right which is being given for an individual person's personal purpose to be viewed only on his personal space. So what do you mean by personal space other than official space, other than social space? So they have in fact incorporated what is personal space. Sir, where all this is incorporated? I agree, you told no on all this, I agree. So my core content here is check whether the service is first digital related services, OIDAR services. If your answer is yes, then it is the OIDAR would pay tax under forward charge. It is not your import of service. I mean not the recipient. Sir, it is not OIDAR services. The next entry. Recipient is liable, no doubt. If the recipient obtained the services for a personal purpose, then it becomes exempt. If the recipient used the services for some furtherance of business, commercial purposes, then it would be taxable. So this is your core content. I take up just 3 questions. I do understand time constraint here. Just 3 questions. These 3 questions alone would take it. As of now, Pavitra, as we have not discussed about the topic relating to place of supply, let's all assume the place of supply for whatever services we discuss are in India. Okay. That is to say, import of service condition is satisfied. Supplier outside India, recipient in India, place of supply in India. Let's not get in or pitch into a question now. If place of supply is outside India, what will happen? That is a discussion that will come when we discuss place of supply. When we go to international taxation or cross-border taxation in place of supply, at that moment we will raise this question. Now we will not pitch in this question because when we go and pitch in on that question, we are fundamentally shaking the roots. If it is not an import of supply service, then there is no reverse charge. We will get anti-RCM. Okay. So come back here. Getting into question. Saju and Co., which is located in Spain, supply makeover tips through a mobile app in Google Store and Apple Store after payment. About 500 Indians has paid rupees 999 only for an annual subscription. Who is liable for GST? I'm just going to raise only 3 questions. On that, the first question is on your screens. Yes. Question number 1. Shazu, a company in Spain, who is engaged in makeover services through a mobile app, has both mobile apps in Apple Store and Play Store. Yes, about 500 Indian people have subscribed for this. My question to all of us is, who is liable for GST? Sir, is it an import of service? No doubt. Yes, it is an import of service. His supplier is located outside India? Yes. Is recipient in India? Yes. Is the consideration is paid? Yes. Sir, all 500 individuals are used it for official purposes. One of the condition of the app, it should be used only for a personal purpose. You use like this, you use this, that and all. No. Tips that are given through online. It's not something else. Online standard tips. Okay. Wash your face regularly with warm water. Your face will glow. This is what my grandmother used to say every time. Okay. But if somebody from Spain say, warm water. Grandmother told hot water. Hot water and warm water are different. Thank you. Add little bit of vinegar into your water and then use it. Wash your face. It will be great. Your grandmother, no, I'll not bring in your grandmother. My grandmother has told, I have been listened many times when she told to my cousins, squeeze a little lemon on the water and wash your face. Again, all those unnecessary dead skins will be removed. Grandmother said, and all, we are a country, we are very clear. Grandmother says all useless wordings. We would have been using the charcoal, not regular coal, the charcoal, wood charcoal, and brushing our teeth. From foreign, somebody would come out and say, "What is this you are doing? You should use paste and all." Then our original day cleaning the teeth was using salt and using charcoal. From there, he'll come out and ask us. And then we all will get converted into this paste, that paste, this blah, 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 blah. And one fine day, same fellow who introduced to us will come out and ask, do you have salt in your content? Hey, I was originally using salt itself. Now you are asking me an added flavor. Do you have salt? And next year he will come with himself also. Do you have charcoal in it? அப்போ நானே கரெக்டா தான் பண்ணியிருந்தேனா? We will get a feeling. I get a feeling. Oh, I just want to share it to you. Now I'll go to my core content of the day. Okay. I don't know why only 7 of you answer. That's a very poor answering. Or indirectly you are sending a message. Don't ask me question. Okay. These are the two only ways in which I can understand it. But in any case, I can appreciate it. Charges under forward charge now exempted. Okay, recipient is liable to pay. What 500 individuals in India has to get themselves registered. Exempted. There is no exemption at all. RCM is not applicable. All the 500 Indian individuals will be treated as online recipients, non-taxable online recipient. It is Shazu who have to pay tax under forward charge. Let me repeat it. Without Government of India enabling a payment gateway for certain people, it is not possible for those companies to collect money from India. So Indian government always have upper hand. Very clear. The services provided by SARS would be, no doubt, would be a service in relation to makeover services, and it would be liable for tax. And under it would be liable for tax, and it would be liable for tax under forward charge. As OIDAR services, Shazu and company will be registered. This time little different. Question number 2. Shazu and Co. supplied makeover services to to a company by name called as Sun Networks India Limited after payment, who is a producer of a film for the main cast. Of course, no doubt, for a upon payment of you want to know amount, upon payment of 1 million. €1 million is paid to Sajos company by Sun Networks India Limited, who is going to make a film. And there are going to be main cast and crew. For the main cast and crew, there is going to be some makeover services. Now, who is liable? It's going to be the question. Yes. Oh, quick. As of now, 8 responses. Good. 9, 10, 11, 12. Till now, whoever answered, all of you all understood it. That's all. See, there was a lady who was part of this film. Okay. This lady who was part of this film, Shama was impressed with the makeover because she has seen the world-class makeovers. Somehow this lady was inspired by the way in which this fellow made a makeover, and she herself felt, suddenly from 42, I got converted into 24. So, okay. So what this lady did is, we'll go to the last situation. Question number 3. Sajus and company supplied makeover services to Aishwarya after payment for though this lady has seen a lady by name called as Aishwarya. No, if you instantly think of somebody else, I'm not responsible for it. I just called a name randomly. She was impressed with the makeover of this particular company and she booked them. Maybe 2 days later, 3 days later, she has to go and attend a function, and these fellows were, in any case, available from the company. So they called her and told, why can't you do a makeover services personally for me? Now, in this case, question 1, is there is an import of service? Question 2, who is liable for tax? Question number 3. Question number 3, sub questions. Consciously, I'm generating a internal question. Who is liable itself will answer the first question, but consciously, I want the answers to be in that way. Is it an import of service or not? First. Second, who is liable? Or is it going to get exempted? Question number 3. Question number 3. Question number 3. 3 answers I have already received. Already all 3 answers received are right. Question number 3. Sir, is there is any commercial benefit behind it? Nothing. Just they called to come and attend. I came. That's all. First question, is it an import of service? A second question, will it be who is liable to pay tax? No doubt it is an import of service. There is no second thought about it, as rightly been pointed out by a few of you. It is an import of service. But the most important question is, you have a special exemption which comes out and says the said activity is going to get exempted. Let me repeat. The said activity is getting exempted. So it's an import of service. However, that import of service is getting exempted from levy of tax. So We have now 3 more reverse charges still pending with us. Of course, not 3. Technically, it will boil down to 2. Lease and joint development land. Both are same. Followed by one entry on IGST, which is transportation of goods by vessel. Those two, mean maybe those 3 reverse charges in terms of number itself will go. In 3 reverse charges, we would take it up in our next session and then take up some more illustrations on reverse charge, close up reverse charge completely, and we will get into a next topic called as composition levy. Let me repeat it. To the extent possible, I am not inclined to take up an individual exclusive practical problem discussion because we find difficult to sit because 2 reasons. I get when I say a practical session, I see a clear drop in the number of people, one consciously. Two, to that session, many times people come unprepared. A little preparation is required. Some of people are little unprepared for this. So because of this, all your discussions are going to be form part of your regular aspects associated with it. So those are all the points associated with it. Coming back here. So that's for the day. I have unmuted all. If you want, you can raise questions. I'm available here for another 4-5 minutes. Yes, quick. Any questions before we close? Thank you all for effective and patient listening. If you have nothing, you can always. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.